Hey guys, so as some of you may know, I have some of my crocheted items in a store now. So it has officially been 2 months since I've had my crochet items in the store. So I'm going to go over the first 2 months and tell you all about it, show you my booth and everything that I'm selling there, and I will tell you everything that sold and how much I made. So I was super excited to get this booth here, and so if you guys didn't know that I got my stuff in the booth, then I will link the video where I found out that they wanted me to have my stuff in their store. So this was a Christmas market, and they told me while I was there doing an event that their crochet vendor was too busy and didn't have time to continue making stuff for the booth, and so she wanted to get rid of her booth and they wanted to replace it with another crochet booth. So they asked me if I was interested. So I decided that day that I wanted to do it, and so I got my stuff in to the store maybe like December 13th or 15th, something like that. So I wasn't in the store the entire month of December. But it was, I think, more than half of December that I was in there. So I get this shelf, and for the shelf, I spend $50 a month for the booth fee, and then of everything that I sell, they take a 15% commission off of that. So every month, I'm going to spend at least $50 for the booth, and then a 15% commission of what sells. So, I'll go ahead and put in the picture of my booth on the first day that I took everything there. So I tried to bring a variety of items. So I took some of my winter and Christmassy items up there, although it was almost Christmas time. There was still a little bit more time for people to do some Christmas shopping. So the weird thing just about the timing is that they had a certain system of how they knew whose item belonged to which booth and how much it cost, like the tagging system, and they were transitioning to a new system. So when I started, I learned the first system, and then practically immediately they were like, hey, we're about to switch to this new system, which was okay. Like, both ways were pretty quick and easy for me to learn. So and the new system is definitely going to be better than the old one, so it wasn't like a big issue. But for the first 2 months, on my reports where it shows what sold, it kind of got confused because some of the items were tagged in the first way and some of them were tagged in the second way. So it was hard for me to figure out exactly what sold just because of the two systems kind of being combined. So some of the items I wasn't quite sure if I knew exactly what it was that sold. So I kind of had to look at the pictures of like what was there last time versus what is missing now, and so it was a little tricky for me to find out what sold. But I think I figured it all out except for maybe one item, and so like the first 2 months were kind of tricky like that. Now into the third month, everything is way smoother because we fully transitioned to the new system. So in the future, it won't be as confusing for me trying to figure out exactly what sold. I will very easily be able to like look on the app in my phone and see what sold. So I might not have everything exactly perfect, but anyways, I will get into what sold in December. So remember that December was only like about half of the month that I had my stuff in there. So the first thing that I sold was an axolotl, and I'm not sure what color it was just because how I labeled everything. I'm not labeling every single color for every item in the store. So I'm not sure exactly what color most of these items were. And then I also sold a penguin. So both of those were $20. And then I also sold one of my corn, and that was $20 as well. Next, I sold a pop mushroom, and that one was $15. And then I sold a loaf cat. I believe this was a medium one. It sold for $30. I think this was a gray variegated one. And then the last thing that sold in December, I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, but I think it was a little snowman. It was something that sold for $15, and I think it was a little snowman because that was the only thing I noticed that was missing at my booth. But I made it like a couple years ago, so I don't think there's a picture of it. And like looking at the numbers, I think I might have missed a few things, but there's a report at the end of the month that tells me the totals. So I'll go ahead and tell you the totals. So my total sales for December was $180, which I think was great for not even having my stuff in there the entire month. I think that was great. So my booth fee was $50, which it comes out on this one, but it's actually paying for the next month. So, but anyways, so the booth fee was $50, and then the commission, the percent that they took out for the store was 27. So my profit was $115 and $75. So I think that was great for the first month to profit $115. I think that was pretty good. And I think that a lot of people were buying Christmas presents. They said that they had record sales for December, just overall for the entire store, because so many people were doing Christmas shopping. And then I will go ahead and get into what sold in January. I'll put up some pictures of when I restocked my booths. I went in multiple times and restocked my booth and put some new items. Sometimes I took away older items, like after Christmas. I left the Christmas stuff for a few days and then I took it away and put some different items in. I just wanted to have some variety in there, so I took the Christmas stuff out and I put some new stuff in. So I'll put pictures up of that, and then I will go ahead and get into what sold in January. So the first thing that I sold was a fish, and I was excited to sell this one because this was the first time that I made this fish, and it sold for $15. I decided to try out this pattern to use up scrap yarn, and I made 2 of them, and I only put 1 in the store to see if it would sell before I made any more, and it did sell, so I will probably be making some more of them. Next, I sold a pop mushroom, and that sold for $15. And then I sold an Octo. Same thing with these. I'm not sure which colors they were, so I'll just put a picture up of a random color. Next, I sold a gray penguin for $20. And then I sold another Octo. And then I put my small cats in the store. So before this, I had only made the large and medium cats. And then I decided to make some mini ones. And so I put the mini ones in. And then I sold 2 of those. And those sold for $15 each. And then the last thing that I sold in January was one of my knit beanies, which I was glad to sell. Honestly, I thought that the beanies would sell for Christmas and winter. So I'm not really sure if it was the display or what, but they just didn't really sell very good in the store. So in February, I did take the hats out. Even though it's still cold, I figured I'll just try some other items in there since they weren't selling very well. So I will get into the totals for January. So in January, I was actually kind of worried. Like the first week, I don't think I sold anything at all. And the second week, I only sold a couple of things. And I was like, oh no, maybe it was like only busy because it was right before Christmas. And then it picked up, and I actually ended up making more money in February, so I ended up making more money in January than I did in December. So the total sales that I made were $214. And then the $50 booth fee. And then for the commission, it was $32. And then I profited $131. So I think that was pretty good. I'm definitely going to be keeping my booth for now. I think that it is worth it for me. If I kind of think about it a different way, say if I spent $50 booth fee to be at like a one-day event, which that is what quite a few of the markets around here go for, is like $50 for booth fee. I would want to make like $300 or $400 at that event and then take out that booth fee. That would be like profiting at least like $250 to $350. Whereas with this, with spending the $50, I'm only profiting like $130. So I was kind of thinking about it that way. It's like it's not as profitable as I'd like it to be, but also I'm not sitting there selling it myself. It's at the store and they sell it for me. They do the taxes on it and everything. So it's kind of less work for me. They're doing more of it. So it kind of makes sense that I would make less. And then the other thing is I'm kind of having trouble getting markets right now because of my schedule and my boyfriend's schedule, and with the main market that I usually do like almost every month, it is not happening this year, and so I'm having to find way more markets than I normally would. So normally I would have that market, they do it almost every month, and then on top of that I would only need to find maybe 1 or 2 markets each month, whereas now that this one is gone, that's meaning I need to find almost like double the amount of markets as before, and I'm having trouble finding that many, or finding ones on days that I'm available, or finding ones that aren't like $400 booth fee or something. Like a lot of the markets I'm seeing are like $300, $350, $400 booth fee, which it just seems crazy to me for a handmade item. Like maybe if you were like buying stuff from China and reselling it, that would make sense. But for me, that is so scary to like spend $400 for a booth fee and not know if I'm actually gonna even make a profit. So but anyways, so with all that being said, I am still going to continue to have my booth, at least for now, and I'm thinking it is going well. And with the new system, it's going to be a lot easier for me to tell what has sold. So I'll be able to look on my phone and see everything that has sold and look at my inventory, and I think it'll be a lot easier than it was before. And I was a little worried at first if I would be able to stock my booth at the store and also do markets, but I'm so far with what I've been able to make, I am still having like extra plushies left over that I'm saving for markets. So it's not like I'm putting everything in the store and it's getting bought immediately and I don't have enough time to make more for markets. I definitely do have enough plushies to do markets and the store, which is nice. That is what I want to do. So but anyways, that is pretty much it. I just wanted to let you guys know how it was going. I know a few of you have been asking about it and how it was going, so that's how it's been going. I think it's been going pretty well, and I'm looking forward to see what I make next month. And I'll probably go ahead and get a video next time I'm in there of the whole store and all the other vendors there, so you guys can see that. Let me know if that's something that you want to see, because I could definitely get some clips of what the other vendors are selling there and what the store looks like and everything. So have any of you ever sold your stuff in a store? I've seen a few people online on Instagram and a few people on YouTube that talk about selling their stuff in the store, but honestly, like, I don't see a lot of them. So I don't know like how many people are actually selling their stuff in a store rather than just selling markets or online. But if you do sell in a store, let me know. I want to know how it's going for you. So thanks for watching.